I would like to welcome everyone to the Super Connector podcast. This is my first time ever in a podcast studio. I felt nervous, and all of that nervousness turned into excitement, and now I have a sense of tranquility because this means a lot to me. All I want to do is inspire you, the audience, through the people that I bring onto this podcast because it creates such an impact on people's lives. People message me occasionally from time to time, telling me how it has affected them and how it's made them, how it has inspired them. When I get just one single message like that, it changes my entire month. I am so happy today to have my second in-person podcast session with Bogdan Micov. And I do consider him a dear friend of mine, a very popular in the high-ticket sales space. He's worked with so many people I know, sales managers, high-ticket sales professionals, some of them getting up to $100,000 per month in cash, in commissions. Absolutely incredible, simply by changing their frame of mind. I'm so intrigued by this. And all of the entrepreneurs, especially in Medellin, that's where we are, in Medellin, Colombia, are going to absolutely love this because a change of perspective will change your life and it will change your bank account. And you know what I think? I think it's going to make you realize that your bank account means far less than the experiences that you can have in life. The change in perception that you can have. I have watched Bogdan on stage change the lives of people within a few minutes. It was the most incredible thing that I've ever seen. I thought that only happened in movies, but it happened right before my eyes, and I spoke with the people afterwards to ask them how it changed them. And to be honest, they even said to themselves, this happened, but still I don't know how it happened. And another thing is that this is in the Zone podcast studio in Medellin, Colombia, and I'm going to be bringing on many more guests, entrepreneurs, digital nomads, high-ticket closers, high-ticket setters, sales managers, a lot of people. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started. Oh, man. Bogdan, how are you doing?
Alive and blessed, brother.
Alive and blessed.
Alive. Happy and hopeful. I'm great. Thank you for inviting me in your show. It's honor for me to be on your show because I have seen so many influential, great people being your guests. And I need to recognize you for the good work that you're doing here. I know it's not an easy task. So for everyone that is actually watching this, please give a little bit of support, subscribe, share, because what Steven is doing here, it's absolutely stunning. I need to give you that, brother. So it's really my pleasure to be here today.
Thank you so much. And, when I met you first, I didn't know who you were. I have boxing reels that I placed all over my Facebook, everywhere. They actually got popular. And one person messaged me all of a sudden and he said, what you're doing is so awesome, just to see you kick ass. And then all of a sudden I was setting on a high ticket offer. And there was a closer there and I didn't know who he was, but I just decided I should contact him and strategize because I'm sending prospects to him. And all of a sudden he said, I was the one that messaged you. Some of these things happen and you consider that it is meant to be. Yeah. Now that brings me to the next question because it is so intriguing to me. Perception. And you were on stage and there were 40 people watching. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you said there's 40 of you. That means that there's 40 Bogdans on stage.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the perceptions that we have of reality? How that they are all different? And how our perception transfers to the meaning that we assign to it, just like you spoke about.
Well, let's start from beginning, right? we have heard in the mainstream, mainly, and everyone who is in the self-development for themselves or something else, that there is one term that is always used. Perception is projection. But what that even fucking means, right? Like, it's easy, sounds fancy, but not many people really understand what perception is, what projection is. So let's give it a little analogy that I'm going to try to come up with right now in the moment. Everything that you experience in life, outside of you, right? Your reality. Imagine it like a cinema screen, like a movie theater screen, right? Now, there is a screen, and somewhere behind, there is a projector that is projecting white light only, right?
Yes.
What you're going to see on the screen is what's going to be the film on the reel. So that's what I mean, perception is projection. If your perception, if your film is a certain way, that's what's going to project on your screen, in your reality. What is that film? What is that reel that is going there? It's your thoughts. So you are projecting only your thinking on that screen. So if you don't like the reality that you live in, you don't fight the screen. You change the film. You change the reel. So it can be projected completely different value on your screen. I know it sounds a little bit abstract right now in the moment, but what it means, let's give it different examples in life. You will see a lady, very good looking lady, looking herself in the mirror. No matter how many compliments you would give to her, how good she looks, or how smart she is, or whatever, if her perception of herself is, I am fat, I am ugly, even though she's looking herself in the mirror, she doesn't perceive that. Simply because it's a thought, it's a belief that she's projecting it outside there. So perceptions, we all have different perceptions in life about everything, right? Some people would say podcast is a silly fucking thing, right? Some people will say it's the best lead generator magnet. Some people would say podcast is just a show off, and some people will say this brings a lot of value. Who is wrong and who is right? There's no wrong and right. It's a matter of perception. How perception is being created is simple. Our thoughts are meaningless.
Meaningless?
Yeah, our thoughts are neutral in nature. But we are the meaning makers. And we assign a meaning on each thought. What do I mean by that? I have said this on some other podcasts that I have been.
Yeah.
Imagine this. You are in Ibiza, in Spain.
Yeah.
And you're on the beach. And you see so many topless people, topless women. You don't pay attention to it. No one really pays attention to it, right?
Yeah.
For them, the meaning of being topless is I'm taking care of my skin. I'm taking care of my tan. It's completely natural because we were born naked and we can be naked, right? So there is no negative emotions about it. There is no fears. There is no shame. Everyone does whatever it is. But imagine that same ladies, that same people, if they go Saudi Arabia and they go topless, people that will going to perceive that will going to see it as haram,
Yes.
as a sin, as something not normal. And the results are going to be probably being imprisoned for that. So who is wrong and who is right here? It's the same situation, the same thing, but in one group of people, that's completely normal. There is no grudge, no hate about it. And with another group of people, it's uncomfortable. It's disrespectful. It creates anger. It creates this. So that's the meaning. Now, where meaning comes from, right? How do we assign a meaning? Well, that's the part of the conditioning. That's part of our programming, part of our upbringing, the values that we have been taught, the beliefs that we have adopted and accepted as true, our model of the world, which is our past experiences, whether we adopted it when we were very young and we were not even able to question the validity of that thought, whether later on, because of specific significant experiences that we have been, it's all data, all learnings that we get, and we kind of create a model of the world, and that's the lenses that we see the world and perceive the world through. And that creates the meaning. That's why in Saudi Arabia it's one part, in Spain is another one, maybe in Siberia will be completely different. I'm going to tell you, Stephen, if you have been born in Uganda, you would have a completely different view of life right now at the moment. If you were born in Hong Kong, you would have different view of life right now at the moment. In fact, matter of fact, you will going to identify yourself like a different person. You will try to convince me this is who am I, and I will tell you, you can go and fuck off. This is not who you are. This is who you learned to be. Your environment, your religion, our parents, grandparents, school, close society, close environment. It shaped us in a certain way. But the main thing is, that's all learned.
Yeah.
And what's being learned can be unlearned and can be replaced with a different learning that serves us a better purpose right now, in this moment.
Yeah.
So when we talk about perception, is projection, that film on the projector is actually our thoughts or our meaning making of the thoughts.
Yeah.
And as simple as it is.
You know, I remember someone speaking at a funeral about the person that had just passed away.
Yeah.
And they had said he was a person that believed and always said that either everything has meaning or nothing has meaning.
Yeah.
And it was a very interesting way to look at life. And I read a book called Man's Search for Meaning, about a person that was imprisoned in the Auschwitz camp in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And the perception of reality that he had compared to 99% of the prisoners there was so impactful when I read that. It made me realize that I could assign my own meaning to life. That was very liberating.
Yeah.
Saying that maybe I don't have to live by some type of destiny, that I could shape it myself. Yeah. And I think that's what I see with entrepreneurs a lot, is they get to a point where they realize that they can shape their own destiny. They have freedom. Why do we contain ourselves and decide to stay with a perception that does not serve us? It's so frequent. We tend to place pressure on ourselves and think that it's a good thing. Like you said, I work really hard. I work 12-hour days, 7 days a week. I work so hard. Please appreciate me. But you said, well, instead of working hard, why don't we work joyfully? And as soon as you said that, I thought, oh my God, you mean throughout the day, I can just be happy with my work? Just saying that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just, it's so good. I forgot my question.
Yeah. I know what your question was.
Yeah.
You said, like, why do we actually put ourselves in that position to feel that? Well, simple, man. Because that's what we know. That's what we learned. And that's what's comfortable for us. Because every change, every new environment, whether it's within or without, tend to be uncomfortable. And why is it uncomfortable? Because it's new and because it's unknown. It's unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen. So that's why majority of people in the world will going to choose familiar chaos over unfamiliar peace. Because that's who they identify themselves with. It's their environment. And that's the perception. This is right, or this is good. If this changed, who am I going to become? And always it's underlined fear behind that. Who am I going to lose myself if I do change this?
Oh my God, that resonates with me so much, especially when it comes to sales.
Yeah.
So much.
I mean, that it's no one to blame about it. It's what we have learned, right? And most of those learnings were adopted from our ancestors, from our parents, from our grandparents, that have been traditions, religions, culture, and everything. And we have learned that since youngest age. We don't even know when we learned that. We just accept it as it is because we were modeling our parents or anyone that we have been looking up to while we were growing. And it was accepted as true. And now when you just ponder the thought of, oh, if I don't feel this way, who am I becoming? It's rather scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
But comfortable zone is a very nice place. And yet, nothing ever grows there.
Yeah.
We are meant to change. We are meant to grow. We are meant to expand. I believe that we are part of nature, aren't we? Just look at nature. Or you grow, or you die.
Yeah.
A tree is changing the leaves every season. Because the old needs to be shedded. The old needs to be thrown. So we can make a space for something new, more powerful, something stronger, something that will serve more purpose. Sometimes that growth might feel uncomfortable. And when it's unfamiliar, uncomfortable, people choose to stay to what is familiar. That's why those loops, that's why people say, I feel stuck. Because they're just staying in what's familiar to them, because they can predict the future. What I mean by they can predict the future. Imagine this. You know when you wake up, what you're going to do that morning, right? You already know. You know that you wake up, take a shower, brush your teeth, you get a coffee, and continue with your day.
Mm-hmm.
If you make one small little experiment, when you wake up in the morning, instead of brushing your teeth, even let's go in and even instead of brushing your teeth with your right hand, start brushing with your left hand. You will see how uncomfortable it is. If you, instead of taking a shower first, you just change the process of you go and get a breakfast first, you'll see how it feels uncomfortable because now it's unfamiliar. This is not the strategy that was doing it. What's going to happen if you wake up suddenly in unknown house? You'll freak out, right? You'll be like, oh, I don't know what to do right now at the moment, simply because we cannot predict it. So we have developed patterns of behavior, which are mainly thought patterns that we can predict so we can feel safe.
You know, Bogdan, this reminds me of a student of yours, Christian Jack.
Yeah.
And I consider him my sales mentor.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible person.
Yeah.
Incredible salesman.
Yeah.
And he was saying that during the sales process, you will notice that even though a person has a limiting belief, they prefer to keep themselves in a homeostasis as opposed to growing.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, even sometimes when I want to move from maybe a setter into a closer position, or a closer position into a management position, but for some reason, the most bizarre thing happens. I say, no, I shouldn't do that because who I am is a setter or who I am is a closer. I'm not a manager.
Yeah.
And so I say, that's not for me. Yeah. That's for somebody else. And so I'll take a look at someone that is incredibly successful. And these are my thought patterns. Yeah. And I think to myself, well, that's not me. That's them.
Yeah.
Right? That's them. And so I'm placing myself in this strange category. And I think that a lot of high ticket closers, they want to become entrepreneurs, or they even think they might be entrepreneurs. but they decide not to actually do it because if there's some type of belief, their perception of reality, that that's not me. And I consider, I get stressed a lot and I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I have for a long time to work hard.
Let me just jump into this part.
Yes.
If we never met before, let's say we're meeting for the first time here.
Yeah.
And I ask you, who are you? What people tell you? What would you tell me? You say, who are you?
I would tell you that I'm a very deep person.
Yeah, but you usually don't say I'm a very deep person to someone that you know. So let's say we know each other. So we're not here to go in the deep part. Let's say go what is really happening out there. If I ask you, like, who are you? What you tell me?
I would tell you that I'm a sales professional.
Yeah.
I tell you that I'm a podcaster and a boxer.
But usually people, what they tell you? I am Steven. I don't know you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, my name is Bogdan, and who are you? And it's like, I am Steven. But are you Steven? No, that's the name that your parents gave you. You're way more than your name, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
And then people say, oh, I am a sales professional, or I am entrepreneur. Well, that's what you do, actually. That's not who you are, because you're way more than that, aren't you? And then I say, well, I'm a brother, I'm a father, I'm a parent, I'm a sister, whatever it is. Yeah, that's duties that you do throughout your day to day, but that's not truly who you are, aren't you? You're more than that. And then raises the question, who I truly am. So what you said about it, they said like, this is not me. That's why I will go back. And who are you? If this is not you. Because what you identify yourself with right now is just a learning. It's just a program that you have adopted. If someone asks me, like, what nationality you are, and I said, I am Macedonian. But that's actually where I have been born. I am not Macedonian. I've been born in Macedonia. Right? So why do I need to identify myself with everything or anything? Yeah, we can adopt healthy identities. We can learn something different. But at the end of the day, the understanding of who you truly are, or remembering who you truly were before you forgot and the world took its hands on you, it's very important then who you want to become. Because you're way more than your thoughts, way more than your emotions.
I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want to be a product of my own thoughts and what I choose to be.
Okay, so what stops you then?
That's a great question. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know.
Cool. So if you were to know, why is it that you choose to be a product of your environment?
Because I don't know what the alternative choice is and how to pursue that.
Is the unknown.
Yes.
Right? You see why people stop themselves?
Yeah.
Is the unknown, because I don't know what is going to come up next. And that's scary shit.
Yeah.
It's scary shit. It's real. I've been there. Everyone's been there. But sometimes it's required for growth.
Yeah.
Because the moment when you learn how to sit comfortably with your uncomfortable self is when growth starts.
I've always been told by numerous mentors of mine in various areas of my life, including sales, that you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And once I started to do that, wow, the difference that it made.
Yeah.
And I know, I will say to myself, well, I can't do this task. Someone will ask me, can you be a sales manager? And I'll say, well, no. I don't have the experience. But if they ask me, are you capable of it? 100%. Of course I'm capable. It's just changing who I am.
You see, but why did you say, no, I cannot? I'm sure that you can.
Yeah.
You can definitely. You're willing to do that.
I would fire so many people, but
Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Are you going to be good at it? That's a completely different story.
Yes.
But can
Yes.
you? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Every single fucker can. And there are so many people that are in the positions that we wonder why they're there, right?
Yeah.
But it's not up to me to, judge that
Mm-hmm.
in that part. But can you? Yes, you can.
Yes.
If one could do it, you can too.
Yes.
Anyone else have done it, you can too. It's up to you if you're going to take that leap.
I have an interesting question. It seems that as human beings, we feel the need to place ourselves within a hierarchy, to find a position in which we feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It just seems as if we could just get rid of that idea of hierarchy and just say to ourselves, or at least I could say to myself, I have control and I'm not a member of a hierarchy. I'm capable of anything that anybody is doing.
But explain to me, what is hierarchy in your mind?
It's a concept. It's simply a concept. Yes, we do. There's evolutionary principles behind it. However, it is I believe that it is a social construct.
So what makes you higher on the hierarchy, you than me or me above you? What makes it?
Possibly competence, but the thing is that, throughout this conversation, and I do know in the back of my mind that that's not true.
Yeah.
That there is actually not really anything. It
is a competence. Obviously, you cannot put a butcher to do brain surgery. It is a competence, but that's why I ask you, what is a hierarchy, right? And what I'm asking you, what is it your meaning hierarchy? Because if you tell me this guy has 17,000 buildings around the world and he has several $1 trillion on his bank account, something else, good for him. But I don't see him above me. He has more money than me. I don't see him above me in any type of hierarchy because I just see another human being. That's why we are called human being and not human doing. It's not what you do or what you have achieved. It's who you truly are. And for people that are salespeople, the moment when they grasp this concept truly deep inside, they will never going to have a problem speaking with sophisticated buyers, speaking with people that are more successful financially than themselves. They will be really open for a conversation because they will not going to shit themselves when they speak with someone that they perceive as a higher individual than them. It's very liberating. And from a performance-based, when you speak with someone and you simply really care to connect with them, no matter what their title it is, or no matter what their success it is in life, I believe that you're going to make way more money as a salesperson. Just by intention of you're there not to make money, but to connect with a person, you will be making more money as a byproduct of it.
It's just so incredible how human connection is the biggest determining factor of success in a sales professional and in many professions.
In everything.
You're right, in everything. In relationships, whether they be platonic or romantic, relationships with your family, the closeness and dealing with difficulties and when I speak with you, it seems like it opens my mind. And when I would say open my mind, it makes me realize that I'm assigning meaning to things that I shouldn't necessarily assign meaning to.
Yeah, but it's sometimes on autopilot, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's
and
definitely.
That autopilot is part of our conditioning.
Yes.
That we have practiced it and we have adopted it, and simply that's what comes out first, right? That's familiar, that's comfortable, and comes out first. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort and a guidance how to actually do that until literally rewire those meanings and you can have a different description of what you say in front of you.
Yeah. Now, I really want to know, because I've seen you on stage, I would say even cure people's trauma within minutes. It was incredible. We assign meaning to things, and that meaning sometimes gets us into trouble. We place too much pressure on ourselves or something, whatever it is. We'll look at things as glass half empty as opposed to glass half full.
Yeah.
Although I know what you do is much deeper. How can a person change their meaning so that they can change their life, the way that they perceive their profession?
First, I don't cure people. I just guide them for them to realize what the truth is.
Yeah.
It's not me. I'm not the wizard. I'm not the magician. I don't do nothing of that. I'm just facilitating their process. They become, so everyone runs a certain strategy in their mind while they're doing something. Let's say you have a strategy of buying, right?
Yeah.
You go, you see that car, then you need to like the color, right? Maybe, I'm just assuming strategy. Yeah. I like the color. And then you go inside and you make a test drive because you want to feel it. And then you kind of connect with the sound that sport car is making. So your strategy is see, visual, right? Then you sit, you feel how does it feel, kinesthetic, and then auditory at the end. So we're running certain strategies throughout everything. It's all a process, right? When I see this, I understand this and this and this. So I didn't cure the people. I just interrupted their process. I just interrupted their strategy, because let's suppose one of the gentlemen there, if you're talking about the last mastermind on stage, he was creating anxiety when he was thinking about a certain subject. Just interrupted the pattern. Interrupt the pattern, create a new neural pathway that thought to pass through. So the moment when they think about that situation, it's not anymore anxiety, it's not anymore this, but it's something empowering. So it was all them, in their mind. I just facilitated a small little change, or let's say, teaching them how to think on an unconscious level.
You know, I've spoken to so many sales professionals, sales managers, entrepreneurs, and they will see mindset coaches and pay thousands upon thousands or tens of thousands of dollars with mindset coaches. And it doesn't seem as if they get anywhere. Why? And therapists as well. Why does it really need to be such a long process to change a perception of reality?
If that's your perception, yeah, that's true, right? If that's your belief, that's true. And therapists, they have been trained that way and they believe it's true.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. It's not other coaches, mindset coaches or therapists. It's not their fault. It's what they've been taught. That for them is true. But I tend to think about it differently. Let's suppose a trauma, right?
Yeah.
Trauma. How long does it take to create a trauma?
Very fast.
You experience significant emotional event, and within that moment, you got overwhelmed with that emotion. Is it going to be fear, anger, whatever? And it creates a trauma, sadness, trauma, but within a second. So what makes us think that that cannot be reversed other way around? Why, if something is created in a second, needs 25 years to be changed?
Yeah.
It does not. With the right approach, with the right process, with really hitting where the root cause is, you can literally transform it within minutes. We don't need to. You were a witness what happened. A trauma for so many years, within 5 minutes, it's not a trauma anymore. It's just a thought that even disappeared from their head anymore. I think that it's a common mainstream belief that you need to be doing that and that and that and that and that, and takes time, healing takes time. You're just being treated like monthly recurring revenue. Just because you need to show up next week again and to do a session again. And next week again. and pay additional session. And next week again, pay additional session.
I've seen people become addicted to it.
Yeah, because they do not deal with the real problem. They are dealing with the surface of it. So imagine this. Let's make a comparison. Let's suppose you have a certain symptom. Some coaches, based on their knowledge, maybe with the best intention, they want to help, but they're just going to give you vitamins and minerals and all of that. Now, some other coaches, they see that you're in pain, you're suffering, the symptom is you're suffering something, they will give you a painkiller, right? And that's going to be some coping mechanisms, some different type of tools. So whenever you feel like that, you just do this and you feel better, right? You relieve the pain. What I do is I'm the surgeon. I will open that painful part. I will find what is the root cause of that painful part. Just remove it surgically from there so it does not create that symptoms anymore in your life. And I have said to many people, and almost thousands of clients that I've been working with, I want to get you, I'm getting you to a stage where you don't need me anymore.
Yeah.
You don't need me anymore. I don't want to create a monthly recurring revenue MRR from you. I want, when you come into my room, I call it when you come into my room, you get out without those problems anymore and you don't need me.
And that's truly freedom.
It is a freedom. And that's so rewarding when you see people transforming in front of your eyes and you're receiving all those nice messages all the time because they have transformed their life and they don't need it anymore. Yeah, you can stay if you want. If you want to stay in the conversation and be consistently deepening the knowledge and all that, that's cool, fine. But I don't want you to need me anymore.
Yeah.
And that's my approach and that's my process. And I will stay to that until I die.
Bogdan, I'm so happy that you came on.
Pleasure, my brother.
Pleasure.
Okay. It was pleasure. I'm so happy that I was here. And yeah, I wish you a lot of success with your podcast, my man. And I know you're going to get there.
Yes, I will. I know I will. All right.
All right.